Hi everyone, I hope you guys are doing well. It's Rima here from Carpetina Marketing Masters, and we are up with the most demanding and most awaited webinar for you guys. And if you need me, you have the chat right below you, so you can click, message me any point in time using the webinar. So let's get it rolling. John will be with you guys very soon.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Glad you can make it here on a Thursday afternoon. Uh, Depending on where you are in the world, it's 2 p.m. Eastern, but you might be out on the West Coast. We've got some people jumping on from out in California and all across the country in between. So wherever you are, welcome. Thanks for popping around on a Thursday afternoon. Going to try and give you some great information, as always, regarding websites and conversions and things like that. I've got a little bit of a tickle in my throat, so if I cough, I really apologize. It's going away now, though. It's been around for about a week or so. If everybody can hear me, let's just do the normal. Just let's kind of get that out of the way. Make sure that you can hear me. Just put a yes in the chat. Rima will let me know as well that everything's good. Awesome. Okay, cool. So what we're going to be talking about this week is we're going to be talking about what you'll find in chapter 7 of this handy dandy book you can get on Amazon, selling like gangbusters. But website conversions and setting up your website properly, unlocking the potential of your website. And we're going to talk about why that's important, what you need to be doing, how things have changed for 2023, the mindset you need to have around websites. So we'll kind of get into all of that. So with that said, let's just switch over to the slide presentation and we'll kind of start walking through this. Cool. So you guys can still see me in the sidebar here, which is great. Again, any questions, just put them in the chat. Rima will chime in with you there. And if there's anything urgent, she'll try and get my attention and we'll have a chat about that as well. So perfect. So, okay, so let's get rolling into it. So do the normal, turn off your cell phones, turn off Facebook. We'll get through this quickly. I do speak quickly, so there will be a replay. You can slow it down. A lot of times I say, hey, when you're listening to webinars and replays, put them on, 1.5 times speed to power through the information. When it's mine, a lot of people tell me they slow it down a little bit, so that's fine. But we're going to try and get, there's my cough right there, sorry. We're going to try and get through this in the next 60 minutes or so and really, really give you a ton of very, very important information. So that's our goal for today. I'm actually going to turn on my little highlighter that I always do because there might be some things I want to bring to your attention, and that is the best way for me to do that. So, coolio. Okay, so we're going to talk about 5 critical elements that enhance conversions. Where to place your phone number, social proof, things like that. Like where like the block and tackling stuff, I call it. Like where does things actually need to show up on your website? What actually has an influence, over a consumer? How do their eyes track? All of that kind of stuff. When you do this long enough, whether it's like way back in the day, yellow pages and flyer advertising, you talk about the Z that people look in, and you have to place things on that Z looking path. Well, websites are slightly different, but there's an importance that you need to be placing things because that's where they expect to find it. And if they have to kind of look around and get confused or it's not in the right format even, it'll actually reduce the number of people that contact you. They just get frustrated and move on. It's quite sad, but it happens. And I'm going to give you some simple tricks that can convert your visitors. Even the ones that don't call you on the first visit. We're going to tell you and teach you that of all the people that come to your website, if you actually watch your website stats, 95, 96% of them don't even let you know they're there. They don't pop their head up. They don't ask you a question. They kind of look around. They either did or didn't get the information they want, and off they go. And what we want to teach you here today is how to increase that conversion rate from 5% and blow it out of the water and get like 15, 20% conversions from people that show up on your website because of what you do. And not only when they show up, but when they show up and leave, are you tracking them? Are you following them around? Are you getting them back to your website? Are you influencing them in the right way? So we're going to talk about all of that kind of stuff as well. So quickly for the newbies here, there's a few of you in the crowd. Who am I? So John Clendenning. I've been in the cleaning business for over 30 years, started in high school, actually running a window cleaning company in high school, and then got into high-rise window cleaning and had crews dropping over the side of buildings, myself included, 40-story buildings, all that kind of stuff. Then decided I wanted to be out in the ground. I was in my early 20s, mid 20s, and started, I bought a carpet cleaning business. Then I bought 3 other ones out around me, and then got into maid services, bought, built up and sold a maid service franchise, 2 locations, did flood restoration in the mix of that, helped the janitorial company. We kind of became the operating company for them, grow from under $100,000 to $600,000 in sales in a few years before we sold our way out of that one as well. So all of that kind of stuff. And then in the middle of the pandemic, I sold my final brick and mortar business, the carpet cleaning that I'd started with. All the 27, 28 years earlier, sold that in the middle of the pandemic as well, for many multiples, just because of how well it was running and how optimized everything was. I've been a big proponent of Michael Gerber, the E-Myth, organizing and structuring your business in a way that it runs like a franchise. Everything has a purpose and a reason. You wear all of the hats at the beginning. You start taking the hats off. You could even have managers be the management hat, but I really believe you need to keep that marketing hat on. So you can hire people to do the marketing for you, but you need to have a sense of what your marketing is. And part of that is what we're going to talk about here. A good chunk of that we talk about in the book as well. So I am the author of the Complete Guide to Internet Marketing for Carpet Cleaners. I do hear from janitorial companies and maid services and plumbers and HVAC and roofers and all that who have bought the book as well. Home services, that's what I know. That's what I've spent my entire career in, working with franchises, working with independent companies, large networks, things like that. Started up a digital marketing business back in right around about 2010, so about 12, 13 years ago now, really helping with reviews and reputation when nobody really knew what that was, because we saw coming out of the last recession, how that moved the needle. So I've been a speaker on stages around the world and a trainer on all of this kind of stuff. So that's who I am. But more importantly, who are our customers and what do we do for them? So this is just a quick little snippet of some of our customers, up over 55%, based on just having our services involved, 40% increase in revenue there. Number 1 all over, and more calls and more bookings at higher prices than ever before. People that have worked with us all around North America, Canada, the US, and even around the world. We've got clients in Australia, New Zealand we've worked with as well. So that's what we do. We actually help our clients become the top cleaning brand in their local marketplace. So they attract the best clients, are able to charge top rates. You don't want to be the discount guy. You want to be able to charge well, and that's all about marketing, good marketing, and then good business management. It's those 2 pieces. And you want to be booked out weeks in advance. You don't want to be waiting for tomorrow's jobs, right? You might have a few openings if you've got like sort of an ability, like an advertising source that has people that want right away. But you want to be booked out weeks in advance. You want your regular customers to come into your schedule knowing that they have to book a week or 2 out minimum, because you want to really have that style of business where you can hire well, you can pay well, and all of that comes from running a really great business. And one of the pieces we're going to talk about today is all around that. So how do we do all of this? How do we do what we do? How do I create businesses that dominate their local marketplace, that become over time, they become the number 1 business in their local marketplace? Well, we do it by the 3 core principles of digital marketing success. It isn't that challenging. It isn't that, a brain teaser to figure out how to do internet marketing what it needs to have happen. All the little pieces become the complexities, and that's again one of the reasons why we wrote the book on it, to give you a lot of that insight in those pieces and the how-tos if you want to take it on yourself, or at least if you're hiring it out, to know that somebody knows what they're doing right. But it really is all about maximizing your opportunities to generate a qualified lead. So if I was going to add any word in there, right here, let's get my little highlighter again. Where did we go? There we are. Making a mess of my screen, but let's get over here. Right there. So I would put in right in this spot right here, a qualified lead, right? Right there. Because what we're talking about is you don't want everybody. You do not want to be, cleaning crappy apartments and low income households that just don't, they're looking for the cheapest price, and next time they're looking for the cheapest price, which is the next guy, right? You want to be cleaning people that respect you. You want to know who your ideal client is, and you want to be generating leads from those people where they are. Some of those leads are referrals. Some of those leads are them searching and looking for information and getting answers and all of that kind of stuff. You want to maximize your brand impressions to those people, right? So brand impressions offline, we know what that is: the back of the bus bench, the billboards, things like that. You know the number one plumbing company in town, the number one stereo shop in town, things like that. They have brand impressions visibly offline and online as well. If you go to their website, if you're searching for things that they do, you've got brand impressions that are following you around everywhere you go, and you want to maximize the conversions. And that's what we're going to be talking about a lot today, is maximizing the conversions. So what's the problem? Problem is you need to invest in your marketing. I say, and some people, I was on a training there just recently with Howard Partridge for CleanFacts magazine, and Jeff Cross was sort of the moderator between the two of us, and we're talking about the investment it takes to run a business. And a little bit of a difference of opinion between Howard and I on that. But when you put everything into the bucket and know where all of your leads are coming from, if you've got people running around getting referrals for you, if you've got digital marketing, you've got websites, you need to rank because people are actually searching for topics, and you need to actually have answers to those questions they're searching for, because now you're making an education-based marketing play, which generates better customers. Everything you do, even when you take that real estate agent out for lunch because you want them to refer you, that's a marketing expense, all of it. So there's lots and lots and lots of realms of marketing, and digitally, you spend a lot of money investing in your marketing. And even if you do it offline and you do door hangers and you do referrals, what do we know people do? 95% of people that are referred to a business, offline or online or wherever they heard it from, their neighbor, their Aunt Martha, it doesn't really matter. What do 95% of people do, according to all consumer studies now? They Google the business to find out if they're worth even looking further into. They look for that business's reputation. They go look at their social media. They go look at their website. They go look at reviews. They do all of this stuff. Why? Because they now want to know if that's worth using that company. Think of the investment that you've put in, all the door hangers, the flyers, the Google paid per click ads, the local service ads, the social media that you've been doing, again, organic, answering questions, doing videos, becoming the face of the company, all that stuff, just to find out that when they go look you up, they find your competitor. You spend a lot of money, and they're not coming through. So the traffic is there. Maybe you can see your website stats and you've got traffic, but the leads aren't converting. So what is a good conversion rate on a website? And what about ROI? You spend money to build different marketing channels up. And again, that's why it's maximizing the opportunity to generate a lead. You need to be omnipresent. That's the new word, because it's really, really important. Well, you're now omnipresent. You're being found everywhere. You've got those brand impressions. And you're realizing that your ROI is low. Why is your ROI low? Well, your return on investment is low because you're not generating enough leads from that. So that's a fail. You're not generating the leads, and therefore for the investment, and it's hard for your business to grow, right? There's some camps of people that believe, hey, I'm just waiting for that really good Facebook ad. I'm just waiting for that really good local service ad, that one thing that's just going to, fill my schedule up for months and months and years in advance. And you go back 15, 20 years, and I was being asked in the early days of my consulting before doing internet marketing, running an agency. I did consulting in marketing and into the franchise industry and stuff like that. And in those days, it was, what's the flyer I need? John, what's the postcard? What's that one flyer? How can I get all of this engagement and traffic and phone calls from that one thing? And the answer never is one thing. The answer is you need to have 20, 30, 40 little things that work, that are generating 1, 2, 3, 4 customers, new customers a month. You got to be marketing your database. You got to be delivering a great client experience that you've figured out and all that kind of stuff. You've got to invest in all of the actual aspects of running a proper business. And if you do that well and you invest in all of that, you want to make sure that when you're generating that new volume of traffic, those new people that know you, that you're converting them into somebody who raised their hand and say, I'm interested in more. So make it a very small hurdle for them to jump over. And the other people that go, I want you guys. Oh my gosh, you are the dudes I want, right? So to get that to happen, it's a matter of psychology. Marketing is basically just math plus psychology. So that creates the opportunity that we're talking about. There is an opportunity that most of your competitors don't know about. The odd time they get lucky, more often than not, we audit websites on a daily basis. We get calls from carpet cleaners and maid services and janitorial companies and restoration firms going, okay, I need you to take a look at my stuff and tell me what we're missing, right? So they might have read the book. They might have, however they found out about us, they really want to know what is that missing piece? Is the person that they're working with, is the person in their company that has been building this stuff for them? Is the agency that they've got one agency doing a little bit of this work? They've got another agency doing their Facebook ads, but they're not connected. They've got another agency maybe doing social media, and not really sure what that is and what's happening. It's not all connected. And what I notice first and foremost is that there is a lack of understanding of conversion elements by the average web designer. There's a lack of understanding of conversion elements by the average person working in social media. They want to get engagement, they want to get likes, they want to get comments, but they don't know how to convert them into work. Again, websites, they make a really pretty website. I mean, I've seen some ugly websites. I've seen some absolutely gorgeous websites that people come to, they'll smile and they'll leave, because it didn't convert them psychologically into wanting to work with that company. And it didn't give them a secondary reason to respond, right? So you need, as the hub of your marketing, you need a great website that is built to convert. Why do I think the website is the hub? Because everything leads back to your website. Like you've got your social media, it's element. You should have blog posts and information and stuff like that. Hey, here, do you want to see a great customer story that we've just done, like a customer that we've just transformed their carpets, their tile floor. We've just done a cleaning or a recoating on their wood floors, things like that. Do you want to see that story? Great. You can show them that on social media, but you could also start the conversation there and take them back to your website where a lot more information is about your company, and you can pixel them and cookie them and follow them around and do all this great stuff I'm going to tell you about. But all of that kind of stuff happens now contained inside an environment that you can control, and you can control the psychology of that much better as well. So you want to consistently convert visitors into callers, messengers, and leads, and you want a momentum to grow. So as more traffic comes to your website, more people, like there's more clicks from your Google business listing to your website. And that's something Google can track and show you how that is increasing over time. And it should be increasing over time. If you've got somebody working for you to grow your Google business listing visibility, then more people are calling you directly from there and more people are clicking through to your website. Why? Because they want to learn more about what you do. People don't click through to your website because they're missing having a brochure in their hand. So keep that in mind as well. A lot of websites are set up to look like a brochure. Wrong way to do it. So you want to become the authority. You want to be the trusted go-to company, and you want to have all of those pieces tied together. And that's what success looks like, is influencing people the right way to make them know that you are the authority in the marketplace. You are if you're a carpet cleaner, you are the #1 carpet cleaner in the local area, you have the authority, you have the respect, and you command it because of the way you set up your assets as well, and the way you present yourself to the marketplace. And again, all of that is controlled by your website. That is the hub of where all of that activity comes from. So again, all of your properties all lead back to your website. So why is getting your website built to convert important to you? Think about that for a minute. Put it in the chat if you want. Let's talk amongst ourselves here. Why would it be important to have your website built to convert? What are some of the benefits that you can get out of that? Yep, yeah, exactly. More leads, more money. Yep, you can convert more people for sure. So let's kind of get into that. So conversion is important for a couple of reasons. Check this one out. So scenario number one, 1,500 visitors a month. Right? So you've built your website up, and that doesn't come easily, but you've built your website up to get 1,500 local visitors coming to check out all the different services you do, the education that you're giving them, how to properly care for their tile floors, how to properly get stains out of their carpets, all of those kinds of things. That's all blog posts and articles and text and content. That's what a website is. It's basically just a content library of really good stuff that answers questions. And if it answers the questions well and people come to find it, Google rewards you by saying, hey, this is great content. Let's show it to more people, right? So 1,500 visitors come to your website a month. You have a 5% conversion rate, which is really good. Really good to have 5% of the people actually do something. Fill out a form, they call you. That's 75 calls or leads that just came from your website. You have a 30% booking rate from that. Say, for example, of those people that came to your website, your office staff can book about 30% of those. And again, knowing your numbers is great. Where did they come from, and how many of those did I book versus referrals versus repeats versus all the other sources. Knowing the conversion rate at every source is really, really good information to know. So you booked 22 jobs, 1,500 visitors, 22 jobs. Average job is $325. Again, you want to be a decent company that you're over $300 an average job, maybe getting closer to $400. We've got some clients that are up around $500 average job because it's the way they market their clientele, the clientele that they market to. They pick the right people that want the quality service, and they have the right message for those people, and those people help refer them to others like them. Those referrals go look online. Oh my God, these guys are amazing. They're definitely the local authority. I'm going to hire them too, and price becomes less and less and less and less of an issue. And repeating more often is a bigger part of it as well. The lifetime value of a client is way huge in that level. So you've now just generated $7,100. So it looks like there's a extra zero on there, but you've generated $7,100 because of the 22 bookings that you got at $325. Let's look at scenario number two. Only thing we're going to change is conversions. Let's say you've got a better website with better psychology, giving them more of the answers they're looking for, giving them a reason to reach out to you, giving them a secondary reason to reach out to you, a free guide, a free report, a way how to hire carpet cleaners so you don't get screwed, a little video series, a little guide, a little whatever, just an opt-in. Now you've got their email address and they're getting that, or their cell number, then you can text them that kind of stuff. Now you've got 225 calls or leads, forms, messages from your website because you've got 15% of them to actually go, hey, I'm interested. You still can only convert at 30% on the phone. We're not changing our ability to answer the phone and influence people. You can always work on that number as well, but let's just convert on the website more. That's 67 bookings. Let's not change the amount the average technician brings in. Let's say we sell at the exact same rate. You have just generated almost 22,000, 3 times as much. All you did was increase the conversion principles on your website. So hopefully you can see how important conversion leads in building up a more sustainable business, because you can say, hey, I've spent all my money on this SEO stuff. I've spent all my money on this this ranking stuff. I spent all my money on this Google local service ads and all of this stuff. If the place that you're driving that traffic, those interested people, if the place you're taking them isn't built to convert, you're leaving all of that money on the table. So think of it, if you spend, say $2,000 a month on ads, running traffic to your website. People looking for your services, and you're running traffic to your website. And you spend $2,000 and you made $7,000, right? So it'll pay the bills. $2,000, you've got $5,000 left over. You pay the technicians, pay the solution, pay the gas, all that kind of stuff. There's a little bit of profit in there, right? Are you singing and dancing about it? No, but if you make $7,000, that's great. If you make anything less than $6,000, a 3-to-1, you're going to be in a tough spot to make money with teams and crews and all that kind of stuff. But scenario number 2, you spent the same $2,000 and you made $21,000 in sales. Now, from that ad source, you've got a 10-to-1 ROI. Now you've got money to invest and chase these people around. You've got money to invest in other marketing. You've got money to invest and grow your company and better equipment and pay better technicians and all that kind of stuff. So think of that. Now you get better referrals because you've got better crews because they're getting paid well. All of that just comes around from something as simple as increasing the conversions on the website, right? Which is that third principle: maximize impressions, maximize the opportunity to generate a lead, maximize impressions, maximize conversions. So as an example here, Web Performance, one of our clients, just the stats from the month, we see that they get a good chunk of their traffic, almost 60% of their traffic, from organic sources. And got that right there. I don't know. There we go. And again, click to call ratio sitting at 32% from these sources. So what does that do? With 1,400 sessions, and you're looking at a session duration of 1.5 minutes, so people don't stick around too long. There's a bounce rate that you want to watch as well to make sure you keep the bounce rate down. If the information on your page is not compelling, and I'm going to show you what compelling looks like, if the information is not compelling, then that bounce rate starts going up. They show up, they don't see what they're looking for. It seems cheesy. They see a baby lying on the carpet. They see, a family sitting on a couch, all of that generic stuff, we want your business, all that stuff that none of it actually influences them to call you because it's the same garbage they see on everybody else's website. That bounce rate goes way up. And when that bounce rate goes up, then you've got all kinds of problems. So you want web forms to be filled out, you want leads to come in, all of that from your traffic. And that's the type of stats you want to see coming in when you've worked on that and built the company up. So how can you get your website to convert? Like now we've given you some reasons why it's important. It's going to help your company grow, right? So now that you know that it's critical to increase that psychology and influence on the website so that you convert better, so the traffic you are getting is more valuable to you, and then you just can get more traffic, you have to get things right. So what does get things right look like? This is one of the examples. This is the Ultimate Carpet Cleaning Website Conversion Machine. It's part of a training that we do as well. Stick around to the end and we'll give you a link to grab a copy of this kind of stuff from us. But ultimately, there is an actual psychology to the way a website should be set up, right? So there are elements that need to be on the page, and we're going to dive into these elements a lot deeper, but there really is, all the way from the title tag at the top here, how you actually set it up, where the phone number is placed, what is above the fold. What we mean by that is right about here on most laptops. Think of a laptop, that's all they see until they scroll down. So what do you put above the fold? What do you put on the next scroll? What is the really key stuff on the home page and on the interior pages? What kind of navigation do you need? All of that influences how somebody interacts with your website. And as they're interacting, are you starting to develop rapport with them? Are you starting to get into their head why you're different than the competitors? Why they should choose you? What is your unique sales proposition? What is unique about you? Are you the same as everybody else? Or do you offer something unique to the marketplace that they go, wow, I really need these guys because I've had that problem before and these guys solve that problem. So again, that's over clear USP, clear and testimonials, easy to find navigations, all that kind of stuff. So all of that stuff you definitely need on your website. So let's kind of dive into the most important. We can't go through all of them here. Again, there's a whole chapter devoted to it in the book, but there's, hours and hours and hours and hours of conversation and strategy involved in every single page on a website. It has a very specific purpose. It has a technical purpose to rank. It has a connection purpose to connect to your Google business listings in the right way to help your Google Business Maps listings rank. That's another value of your website done well. It has all of those, getting schema codes and all of this so the internet knows how to read the page well and knows what it's about. It's got all of those kinds of things. And then each page has a very specific purpose for converting people into, getting them into your funnel, top of funnel, middle of funnel, so they work their way down. So that's what we're going to talk about, for maximized conversions and lead flow. So ultimately, there's 11 critical elements we're going to go through quickly. But really, these are the most important that you really want to consider. You want to be speaking to your target avatar. What the heck does that mean? Well, who is your ideal customer, right? You're not talking to somebody who's 20 years old. That is not the ideal home cleaning customer. They don't have the discretionary income and they don't care, for the most part. By and large, that's not an audience that has a lot of your ideal customers in it. Same goes for seniors, 65 and over. There's more seniors on fixed incomes. There's more seniors that walk in the door. They don't leave the house. They walk in the door, they put their slippers on. They eat with a towel over their lap so they don't dribble crumbs. They do all of the stuff your mother taught you to do or your grandmother taught you to do. And they do all of that, and they don't need cleaning services often, right? So that's not your ideal target market as well. So what is your ideal demographic? Are you targeting residential more than commercial? If you're targeting commercial, how are you getting in front of them? You got to think of all of that. But on a typical residential carpet cleaning business or home cleaning service, we know that there's a specific target demographic, right? There's a specific age range, sex, household, income. We want to know their fears and the frustrations, why they should choose you over somebody else. How do you speak to those? And do they believe you? Do you have testimonials that speak to those fears and how you've solved them as well, right? You want to be real and authentic. You do not want pictures throughout your website that are just the generic baby lying on the carpet. Like, you just don't. You don't want, you don't want stock photography anywhere. You want well done pictures of you and your crew, but you even want some candid ones. Like everybody's cell phone these days, these things are amazing for taking good pictures. If you've got a friend with a DSLR camera, then yeah, get some good pictures taken. Hire somebody. Is it worth the $500, $600 to hire a local, photographer, videographer from the local high school or university to come out and take some pictures of you, maybe even a few videos. Hey, I'm John here with John's Carpet Cleaning, and thanks so much for stopping by our website. I just want to tell you what's around the site here. I want to be your carpet cleaner. I'm going to prove that to you on our website. Go check out some of the stories from our past customers and the results we've given. Go check out our reviews over there. If you're looking for specific service, I got some pages on that. And you want to talk about our guarantee, click the link down below to explain why, if you're not happy with the cleaning we do, you don't pay us. And that's the only way we operate. So thanks so much for stopping by the website, and I look forward to serving you someday soon. Right? Put that video on the front of your website. If you don't put the video, at least put the text along that lines as well. Be real, be authentic, use the video elements that we're talking about here. Leverage social proof. All of that stuff I just talked about in that one little, 30-second segment that could introduce people on their website as well. But that should also be all over the page. You're pointing at it, right? Get the basics in order. Phone number has to be up in the upper right corner. People's eyes just gravitate over there. And if you can make it sticky as you roll down the page, it stays there, that's great. Otherwise, and not just otherwise, and as well, as they scroll, you need to create those conversion elements every scroll. Don't make them have to go find it. People are lazy. Don't make them go find anything. Have it right in front of them properly the way they need to see it. Have clear calls to action on each page that speak to the customer avatar. If you've got a tile and grout page, you're going to have calls to action saying, is it time to get that grout cleaned? Right? Partway down the page. Call us now. If you've got dirty grout, we'll come out and give you a free estimate. Near the bottom of the page. We're really show a whole bunch of pictures of before and after grout cleaning and all that stuff. And at the bottom of the page, we'd like to now do that for you. Give us a call, click on the link to schedule an estimate, a time for us to call you back, start a chat, all that kind of stuff. You can give them all of those calls to action all the way down the page. Make it nice and clear, have them know exactly what you want them to do. Use special offers that match the services they're in need of as well. So special offers don't mean discounts. So we talked to a lot of people go, you know, 3 rooms in a hall, $99. That's all I can do, you know, and my competitor just went to $89. That's one side of the crowd. The other side of the crowd, I don't run offers. I don't give people deals, right? But what do you do to entice a first-time person to use you? What do you do to entice a friend, a customer of yours, to refer a friend to you? Right? Those are what we're talking about with offers. We're not saying you have to give a discount. You can actually give a premium. Say, hey, if you get, you know, your whole home of carpet cleaning done, we will include your favorite armchair clean for free, or your, you know, your favorite area rug up to a 6x9, absolutely free, whatever. Take it back to our shop and do our spa treatment on it. You know, like send your rug out to our rug spa, things like that. You know, you can have those types of offers where it's a premium add-on. You know, warranties and guarantees, and you know, if you spill something, Murphy's Law 7-day warranty. If you spill anything on the carpet in the next 7 days, and it doesn't come off with just a damp wipe, give us a call. We'll come out and work with that stain for you, absolutely free, no questions asked. Anything you do to your carpet we'll come and solve for you. You know, that kind of idea. You can have that go for a 7-day. You can go that for, you know, 30-day. I've seen people do 6 months and a year guarantees. Try our spot remover we give you. If that doesn't take the stain out, give us a call. We'll come out free of charge and do everything we can to remove that stain for you. Good for 1 year. That's a value add proposition. You don't do that when you're the cheapest guy in town, right? So those are the types of things you can do with special offers. Make it value add, but you have to have a lead magnet, something that people can share with their friends, something that attracts attention to you, you know, a bundle, an offer, a service, something like that that gets them over the hump of choosing you. And it doesn't have to be about a cheap price. It could just be a value to your service, right? You want to make your website mobilely optimized? Absolutely. You need live chat. Less and less people want to pick up the phone. I'm sure you're noticing this by now. I would talk about this a year and two ago, and people, well, no. What it meant was people were actually chatting with somebody else. Now it's imperative. If you do not have a live chat, and it doesn't have to be live chat, it can be chat to text. We'll talk about that in a minute as well, where when they chat, it asks for their cell phone number, and it immediately texts them on their phone, and it says, hey, I'll get back to you soon right here. Thanks for letting me know you're interested. In the meantime, let me know some other things about, you know, about what you're looking to get done, share a few pictures, whatever, and start a text conversation that you can get back to a little bit later on. Again, not hours later, but you've automation has responded for you, and now you can get back to them a little bit later. So that's what we're talking about as well. Site speed really matters. Google sees that as a huge ranking factor these days, because if somebody clicks on a link and they're standing there on their phone, and it's still not loading, what do? Back. Okay, that sucked, right? And they do the same thing on their desktop. So site speed really, really matters. And marketing automation, I talked a little bit about. We're going to talk a lot more about that in a minute. So what is the one element that will have the biggest impact overall on your internet marketing efforts? Anyone want to put that in the chat? What is the one element that can have the biggest impact on all of your marketing? Anyone? Yes, James, it is conversions. Well done. It's on the screen. So, well done. Yes, conversions are the one thing that has the biggest impact. Optimize and maximizing for conversions, because it's going to impact everything else you do. So how do you do it? How do you optimize? To get more phone calls, leads. We use a little phone call icon. It literally just means leads from any source, chat. Well, first, if you see Joe Jones through Joe Jones' eyes, then you can sell what Joe Jones buys. Love that little line. But ultimately, know your avatar. That's what we're talking about. Their pains, their frustrations, all of that kind of stuff. Who is it that you ideally want to serve? So let's talk about that a little bit, right? Demographics, right? We know that our ideal customer is a 35 to 55-year-old, typically woman, college or university educated house, like leader of the house, the person that takes charge of the cleaning and the maintenance and the, that kind of idea. Again, in a stereotypical world, the men might be involved in, some of the mechanical stuff or whatever, but the woman is the one taking care of the house for the cleaning of, hiring the carpet cleaners and making sure things get done. It's usually on her calendar that she knows when the dishwasher repairman's coming and things like that. That's, there's kids being juggled back and forth to soccer and dance and all of that kind of stuff. And that's the person who typically manages the household. Usually, the annual household income, 65 is a low end these days. 75, 85, 95 and up household income. So medium family income in an area, 100, 110 starts getting a little bit better. So know those pockets. Like you might be in an area where there's a $55,000 average annual household income in the main town, but around it there's 3,000 population town over here and 8,000 and 12,000 over there that have like $125,000, $140,000 annual household income. Do you know that data? It's available. Know where you should market to find your people. They're typically family oriented. They normally have pets. 75% of them have pets. Take pride in their home decor, things like that. So they're interested in decor. They're interested in those types of magazines even. They're interested in those topics. That's your ideal person. You're going to be talking to them about that kind of thing. The pictures that you're going to put on your website are going to be of you and your crew in those types of homes, not showing up in a hallway of an apartment building if you're trying to attract a customer that's in a nice home, right? So usually live in the suburbs, that kind of idea. So then from there, we want to know, what are their pains and frustrations? Some of them, they can't get a carpet cleaning company on the phone or in chat. Like they just can't talk to them. Like it seems like days go by before they hear back. They obviously need something clean. They like to keep things maintained. They've got kids that make a mess. You know, they've got sleepovers going on. They got dogs that go out in the mud and come back in, all that kind of stuff. Things aren't smelling fresh. They're using Febreze more. They've got plugins everywhere. There's a funk that they're dealing with, right? So that's a frustration. They're too busy to deal with it as well. So, you know, that the ideal customer is not the one that's just, going on Groupons and things like that. They're going to ask people, ask then buy. They're going to ask for referrals and recommendations. You want to make sure your customers are so happy with you that they're going to recommend you. They're worried about the situation could get unhealthy for the family, and they want to know that they're maintaining their belongings and their property well. So, especially as we go into any sort of economic challenges and how 2023 is going to play out within the economy and stuff like that, people aren't going to be replacing their carpets and their tile floors and doing all that kind of stuff as much because, again, they're going to want to preserve what they've got. So there is an entire crowd that moves deeper into the cleaning world when there's a slowdown. Been through recessions and slowdowns before, and that's what we notice. We just pivot our marketing message even more towards maintaining it properly, cleaning, protection, giving them like a follow-up service, things like that. We called ours the Always Clean. You pay over $1 a square foot is what we were charging to do the a full cleaning today with healthy home cleaning, that kind of idea, and you get a free bottle of spot remover for life. You get all of this kind of stuff. And then you also get a traffic lane touch-up cleaning in 6 months. Absolutely free included in that package. And as long as you renew every year, your price doesn't go up. You're grandfathered in, things like that. We sold 25 to 30%, depending on the technician, of our clients on the Always Clean, just because it was a maintenance thing, because we were targeting the right clients, that's what they wanted. So we knew that, so we gave them an option that way, right? So their fear of being ripped off and overcharged. So you need to have language and testimonials and third-party endorsements that speak to that. You need to have referrals that speak to that. They're worried that they could spend too much on this one that they could have got somewhere else for cheaper. So you have to have your messaging why you charge the way you do. Some companies come in and just use cheap discount soaps and leave your carpet wet for days and leave it all sticky. We can actually come in and show you the head of foam that your carpets will generate from that. That's not good. You're leaving all that residue behind. A proper carpet cleaning company should be pre-spraying and rinsing, pre-vacuuming ahead of time, moving the movable furniture, all of that kind of stuff. Tell them about it, putting air movers down to help it dry quickly, putting a protection down to help refortify the factory protection that's now worn off a year or 2, 3 years later, that kind of idea. So you're telling them the 29-point cleaning system that you put in place for every single room, the spots and stains, the identify, all this kind of stuff. And that's not, that's how you maintain a proper, healthy home. If you want a cheap discount cleaning, please call somebody else, because you'll get cheap discount results. Then that's not what we provide. You're talking to the right person now with the right message, right? So they're worried that you're going to cause a disaster in the home, and the price will change. So you have to make sure that you're telling them that we will come out and do an estimate and give you fixed prices, and the price will not change. You agree. We have several packages available. You get to choose on our basic package, our clean and protect, or whatever, and our healthy home or are always cleaned or whatever. You let them know all of that kind of stuff, and that really helps them as well. And then we know what their goals and desires are, right? So we want to make sure that, and it's not just around the carpets, it's around they want to travel, they want to fun, they want to have respect, all of that kind of stuff as well. So because of all of that, there's going to be these same people are going to you're going to want to talk to their goals and desires, right? You want to make sure that you're telling them that they can spend more time with their family if they're not worrying about their carpets. It's healthier. It's, all of that kind of stuff. They're going to save money because it's going to last years longer. Carpet is very expensive. Moving all the furniture out is very expensive. Changing carpet to hard floor is very expensive. Hardwood floors are very expensive. Tiling floors are very expensive. And if you're going to start changing those up, or worst case scenario, decide that the house is now sort of run down, so now you want to move, and there's all of that expense, you're going to save them a ton of money just by maintaining it properly and becoming their resource on that. So you want to be talking to those fears and messages. So the types of messages that work: safe, natural, eco-friendly, works really well. 100% satisfaction guarantee, or it's free. Some version of that you guarantee that if there's something they're bothered by, you will be back in a whip and you're going to solve it for them. And if you still can't solve it, you're going to give them money back for that problem, that area, that thing that they're not happy with. Right? You want to tell them that. You want to make sure that that's bold. You don't hide behind it. You have the liability of the fact that you have to make sure you do a good job and solve problems if they come up. You have that liability anyways. Why not turn it into a marketing asset? Because they're looking for it anyways. When they come to the site, can I trust these guys? Well, geez, look at that guarantee. And look at these five testimonials or reviews that speak specifically to that guarantee. I chose this company because of their guarantee, and wow, did they ever, there was a little spot that came back. They came right back out and took it out and, didn't charge me anything extra, and and handed me a free bottle of spotter just in case anything else happened again as well, and offered to come back no matter what. Right? I love these guys, right? That testimonial supporting your guarantee, that's the message that psychologically causes more conversions. You want to let them know that you got highly trained technicians. Show them the technicians on your website. Show them the training. Show them sitting in class, getting the training. All of that kind of stuff. You want to make sure that it's like, if it's an in-house training that you do, it's you teaching them, and if they're sent to the IRCRC training, whatever it is, make sure everybody knows that. You want to make sure your phones are answered live during business hours. Even if call volume overall is going down, if you can answer the phone, that is a conversion principle that like no other. If you can answer chat right away, you can answer emails as if it's a live phone call within a minute or two. If you've got somebody who is working your office and keeping things humming that way, you're going to convert more people who go, oh my God, somebody actually answered, right? Because that's the world we're in. And you want to have honest pricing, no hidden costs, that kind of stuff. You want to tell them what it is. You've got a choice of packages. Here's the way we charge. We're going to, by the square foot, we're going to measure it by the room. Tell me how many rooms, up to a maximum of this, things like that. Let me pop out and give you some information first, all of that kind of stuff. So you got all of that going on. And now you're speaking to your ideal client with why they're going to love you. What is the difference between you? What is the 8 reasons why? What are the 11 steps? What are the things like that are why you over everybody else, right? And you want to make that very clear and right on the homepage of your website, right? You want to be real and authentic. So you want to introduce yourself. You're the owner of the business, whether that's a video or a picture. Your crew, your equipment. What's it going to look like when they hire you? You want to show videos. What is that going to look like on your website? These are all clients of ours that have videos and images, and this is how we build the websites out for them. Is we really, really go deep on making sure that the customer can absolutely see what it's going to be like to work with that company. You want to have social proof. So you want to have testimonials and reviews live from the web. They click on and they're going right to that review on the web. It's not a fake little, scrolling past, fake little review that may or may not be real. You want to have the real ones linking right back. There's a ranking factor that helps with that. You're linking out to an authority site, Yelps and Facebooks and Googles and all that kind of stuff. But there's a psychological benefit as well. If they click on it, another window opens up and there's that actual live review live on the web and things like that. So you want to have different testimonials and reviews and feedback from your customers on different pages about different services as well. You really want to go deep with that. So that's something you definitely won't want to skip, because again, think of the psychology of the person wondering if you're the one that they should be choosing, right? You want to have those offers Again, it doesn't have to be deals and discounts and stuff like that, but you want to have those offers that speak to the customer. So, while you're in the home, will you do a free pet odor evaluation? Regularly $125, absolutely free. If we're there doing an estimate, we're there doing a cleaning, anything like that, right? That could be, that would be an offer you could put out in the marketplace. Here's all the things we're going to do. We're going to give you, UV lights. We're going to do moisture detectors. We're going to give you a prescription on how to properly handle the urine issues in your carpet, make them solved, and we're going to give you a guarantee that if a couple of different options to treat them, and a guaranteed service as well. That if we can't get the smell out, then we refund all your money, whatever, that kind of idea. How confident you are with your services allows you to create these types of offers as well. So you want to have all of that. So you want to have something for your upholstery cleaning, something for your area rug cleaning. Get 2 rugs cleaned and the third one of equal or lesser size free. Things like that. Get 3 rugs cleaned, and we will do a moth treatment and a protection, absolutely no charge. It is a $80 value, absolutely free, things like that. So you can give them some upsell value if they give you more stuff, those kinds of things as well. You want to make sure your website is insanely mobile friendly, and not just mobile friendly. You want to make sure it looks like an app, right? So the website should fit onto a mobile phone, but the fonts should be big buttons, click here, click to call buttons, clearly found on the website so they know exactly what to do. Everything should be easy to find. The mobile version of your website does not have to just be your website kind of turned sideways. It can be things on the mobile version can be small or less of them, so less content. A simpler site that is really, really, really succinct, because the mobile person is scanning, they're scrolling as if they're on Instagram or Twitter or TikTok. They're just scrolling, and if you can make your mobile site feel the same way as that, again, that's engaging. They're going to see what they want to see as they scroll down. Oh, there's a great before and after. Oh, they do that service. Oh, there's another example of that kind of stuff, right? So, you want to absolutely make sure you get the fundamentals right, like we talked about. So things like the phone number, placement of the phone number, a risk reversal guarantee above the fold. Why you over everybody else? You want to have social proof. So a pop-up of reviews that have been coming in is a really, really great social proof. You want to give them the opportunity above the fold to know how to connect with you, ask you questions, get in the loop with you. That also allows you to collect their information. And now that you've collected their information, you can remarket to them. You can send them, helpful, friendly, informative stuff over time. Your lead list should be 10 times bigger than your customer list. One of the ways to get there is making sure that you say, hey, got any question? Let me know. You also want to make sure that you have a chat feature as well, a chat to text type feature, because all of these things help people find you, choose you, speak to you in the way they want to speak to you. Even the phone number at the top, you can have as dynamically as a call tracking number. What we do is we put a number on our clients' websites that when the customer rings it rings their phone in their office. But if for any reason it's not answered, that missed call gets a text back right away. Oh, I am so sorry weren't able to answer the phone. Like during business hours. Outside of hours, you get an answer machine. During business hours, I'm so sorry, all of our lines must have been busy, our office staff must have stepped away. How can I help you? And that is a text back that then starts a text conversation, no different than the chat to text in the pop-up in the bottom corner. Another way to make sure that you're right on top of them and engaging with them as well. So live chat or chat to text, as we say, only 5 to 10% of visitors on your website take action, as we said. Call, fill out a web form. 90% of the visitors leave without calling or doing anything. We know that we're in a market, when they're in the market for your services, why else would they be on the website? So you want to make sure that you give them a way that they're comfortable and it's convenient for them to chat. And what we have found is that putting a chat on the website will increase the leads by an average of 35%. So if you're averaging getting 10 leads a month from your website that you can track to that, this is now adding 3.5 more, 35%, 3.5 more leads to your website. If you're used to getting 50 leads, you're now getting an extra 15. You're now getting 65. Like all of those leads turn into more work, turn into more money for you. So why not have it? Okay. So those are some of the main elements. One of the things that we like to talk about, and we sometimes we talk about this, in a totally different, we can go deep on this in a totally different training at times as well, but is the difference between lead generation. Everything we just talked about is lead generation, and then lead nurture. How does your website play into the lead nurturing role as well, right? So here's why we need to be thinking about this, just as a sort of a final wrap up to this conversation, is leads that are not followed up with within 5 to 15 minutes go cold, or they go to the competitor. The average customer must be followed up with 5 to 7 times before they book. Some people just book right on the spot. Other than, let me think about it, blah, blah, blah. And there's this whole thing. And when's the last time you followed up with? Maybe you call them the next day. Maybe you send them an email. Do you have a team that is still talking to them 2 weeks later? Right? Because some people take that much time. You just assume they're going to call you back. No, you need to actually be staying in touch with them. You need to be continuing that chase in a meaningful and friendly way. Consumers today prefer text over and texting, text messaging, two-way messaging over phone calls and even email. So you want to make sure that you've got all of the stuff built in. So the proven solution is lead marketing automation to follow up with web forms and message chats within 2 minutes or less, phone calls that don't get answered, get a text back right away. And you want to automate that so that they can be touched. You're asking them questions, you're following up with text, somebody can get back to them, but you're asking them in the meantime, can you give me some more information? Do you want some more information on this or that? You can create that nurturing. And then if you end up talking to them or they don't answer the phone, or down your staff jumps in the next day, like they jump in that day, didn't get a hold of them, there's a message goes out to them automated the next day and they responded back, boom, now your staff didn't have to call them the next day. It automatically happens through automation, but maybe it's a week later before they actually get back to you. So is there something that triggers them and, hey, by the way, here's a job that we've just done recently and the great results. What do you think of those? If this is something that you've been looking for, message me back. That kind of idea. That could be an email, that could be a text message. So you should have that level of automation so that you get those 5 to 7 touches so that they can either say, you know what, I'm not interested right now. Awesome, no worries. We'll keep in touch over the duration and coming weeks and months. And if there's anything we can help you with, just let us know. And you put them into your forever long-term follow-up because they're not interested right now. They went with somebody else. All of these things are great, but they still raised their hand and said, guess what? I buy carpet cleaning. I buy tile cleaning. I buy upholstery cleaning. I'm one of these people that do that. I don't rent machines. I don't have a Bissell at home. I actually buy into this category. So why not stay in touch with them? Why not keep that list going? And you need to do that with a lead list that you can market directly to. And this is what it looks like. This is what lead automation. This is our tool is called Carpet Cleaner Lead Pro. It works for, again, we built it for carpet cleaners and cleaning service businesses and home service businesses. And it's all of the automation from all of those touch points. Messenger chats that are coming in and ads that are coming in, your Facebook ads, your Google ads, all of that kind of stuff, anywhere that anybody can message you, all of that, your website messaging, if somebody calls your listing and they don't get the phone answered for any reason, then there's a text conversation started. They've now been captured, all of that kind of stuff. And now there's full automation funnels that, remind you to give, to talk to them, that also automatically reach out to them as well, and then put them into all of those different nurture sequences. And when they pop their head up and go, oh, yep, I actually do have a question, boom, they go down another channel. All of that lead marketing automation so that you're constantly in warm, friendly communication. What does that do? I want to show you this. So conversion optimization, like we talked about, optimizing for conversions, but then marketing, adding marketing automation is that secret layer. So you've got multiple leads coming in from all sources, right? Wherever you've got all your marketing, you don't want to have any one marketing channel. You want to have lots of marketing channels. This guy's pretty happy up in the top corner here, that's winking at us. You got 164 leads in a month. This is actually one of our client stats out of Edmonton. 164 leads in a month, 30% conversion rate, but no follow-ups. That's where they started with us. That was average, 49 booked jobs out of all of their marketing sources, right? So 164 leads times 30%, 49 jobs. Average ticket, $325, 49 jobs times $325. That's a $16,000 a month carpet cleaning company. That's not bad. What does that work out to about? Math done the quick, $880,000 a year. One truck, we like to say an average truck should do about $200,000 to $250,000 a year. If you're on a more of a higher end service, 180 would be one truck, maybe with a helper. That kind of idea, not bad, right? But you leverage something like Carpet Cleaner Lead Pro to do all that automation for you. Now the math looks like this. Your conversion rate goes up to 70%. Well, how does that happen? Well, because these leads, so these are the leads, these aren't just the website, like this is the people that actually chatted to you, that actually called you, that actually started a conversation with you. Up above, only 30% of them turned into customers. Down below, we turned 70% into customers because we've targeted ideal customers, and then we're following up with them 5 to 7 times and beyond, staying in touch. Maybe a month later, 2 months later, they come back. All of that is trackable. We know exactly where they started with us, and we know exactly when they came back into the funnel. And that could be 3 months later, 6 months later, could be a week later, but we're not letting them go cold, and there's no staff member that has to remember to keep that list and call them, right? So automated follow-up. Now you've got 114 bookings out of that 164 actual live people that raised their hands and said, yeah, I'm interested in you. So at the same dollar per job dollar, you've got $37,000 a month. We're now at a $400,000 a year business. All we did differently was put marketing automation behind a good marketing system. We put marketing automation behind a company that is investing in multiple channels of marketing. And now you can see that power where, $19,000 in more revenue from the exact same lead flow per month. So hopefully that impacts you on why this is such an important topic. Making your website the hub for conversions, putting all the psychology into it, and then adding that one extra layer of marketing automation. That's sort of that next little secret sauce that we're just kind of dipping our toe into right now and talking a little bit about. So, but yeah, ultimately the key ideas we talked about here today is real and authentic images. Add video elements, video, anywhere you possibly can. Showcase your online reviews prominently on your homepage and around the website. Showcase testimonials, showcase client stories before and after with a testimonial and why you're in the home. Like a whole page about it is great. Get the basics in order. Phone number in the upper right. Ensure that there is a web form that the customers can fill out, to ask you any question. Add credibility with authority symbols and stuff like that. Let them know that you're accredited and all of those kinds of good things because it has a psychological role. Update the calls to action on each page to ensure they speak to that customer avatar. There are companies we work with that they only work with super high-end people, doctors and lawyers and $1 million neighborhoods and all of that kind of stuff. And the messaging is all about the finest carpet cleaning and the quality, and the wording is entirely different when you're marketing to that crowd as well, because it's a different want and need that they have. And again, even by and large, sometimes even a different education level. So leaders or readers, you want to be tapping into that as well. Want to leverage offers that match the page that they're on. You want to leverage offers that match what they're looking for. If in a higher end neighborhood, it's like whole homes of cleaning, 2,000 and 3,000 square feet of carpet, and they typically want their furniture done as well. So you're in a multi-million-dollar neighborhood with around the golf course and stuff like that. Have packages and services that talk about that. Talk about the executive plan, right? And things like that. And the things that are different about it and how you go about making sure everything's protected, and you do a deeper vacuum first to get rid of the allergens and things like that. So you've got different equipment than the average person's going to use. You use HEPA filters and just really go deep on this stuff, right? Add two-way chat to your website and use marketing automation to make sure that you're constantly following up with your potential customers. So ask yourself, from everything you just learned today, is your website optimized for conversions? Do you have all of these things in place? Is it personalized all over the place? Does it got those psychological principles baked into it all the way down the page? All of that kind of stuff, right? So think about that. Is that something? What I've always said in our coaching and consulting that we do is implementation is everything. It's great to have ideas, but if you're not willing to implement them, then they were useless, right? You can have goals, but if you don't implement the goals, they're meaningless, right? So implementation is everything. So what are you going to implement as a function of today's webinar? Pick 3 items that you're going to get placed in place in the next 30 days. Because I guarantee you, you put any 3 of those items in place that we talked about, more personalization around the website, change the layout of your website, add that marketing automation to your website, and you're going to see the results from that, and you're going to want to do more. And you're going to want to do more because the results come back to you in your bank account. The results come back to you with better customers. So pick 3 things, right? We covered those critical elements to enhance conversions. Where to place your phone number, simple as that. And then the simple trick to convert your visitors that don't call on the first visit, which is that marketing automation. So we covered a lot. What are your key takeaways, right? This is what you need to think about. What are you going to implement? What did you learn today that you didn't know already? Or maybe you knew, but you just needed a refresher, right? What are you going to take away from this conversation? We call what we do the digital dominance method, because we're talking about this, all of this in one cohesive unit. We do see the website as the hub of the whole marketing plan, as one of the core pieces, because that's where you place your content. That's where you build your authority. That's where you share in and out your social media stuff. There's a lot of things that happen between the website and the rest of the web for rankings and for maps and all of that kind of stuff. So it's still an integral part, even if fewer people show up at a website, perhaps because they've got other places to go. It's still an integral part of all of your rankings and all that kind of stuff as well. So you want to be looking at things like, again, you start over at number 1, brand definers, your compelling sales proposition, risk reversal guarantee, and logo. Well, that should also be on your website and on your van and on all your marketing material, because you've designed a company around a theme. Why you? Right? Brand anchors, conversion focused website. We just talked about that. Personalization, hyper local SEO optimization. You want to have your website and your Google My Business, Google Business Profile, it's called now, optimized and working together. Citations, there's just your name, your address, your phone number, wherever it shows up around the web. You need lots of those, and you need them in really high quality places. You need them in industry places and in local sites as well. So you need to have a citation development plan, because that will help you show up more. That will help maximize your brand impressions. That's part of that as well, right? So think of all that. Your authority helps your conversions. You want to make sure that you're managing your reputation, but you're also asking all your clients for feedback, not just a review. 70 to 75% of your clients will leave you feedback. About 10 to 15 will write a review. Go look at your numbers. How many reviews do you got, and how many customers did you clean a service? Is it 80%? Or is it closer to 10, 15% at best? Because most people still don't review. Well, a review is great because it sits in one place. When people come to that one place, they see that review. Feedback allows you to, ask them some survey questions and what they liked and what they'd like to see more of and what they'd like you to buy from you next, all that kind of stuff. You can write really good surveys, and then once they've completed the survey, hey, thanks so much. I'd really appreciate if you could give us an online review. Here's a couple of links, Facebook and Google and stuff like that. Or if you're a Yelper, just go look us up on Yelp and just tell us what you think, right? You can have that after the fact, and you'll actually get as many, if not more, reviews on more places than just saying, here, go give me a Google review, but you'll also get feedback that becomes marketing material that you can share out on social media and everywhere in droves. You'll be sharing that out every day because you get that much of it, right? So all of that kind of stuff is the authority enhancement. And then you can target people that come to your website and leave on Facebook and around the web. When they go to the Weather Network and WebMD, you can start targeting all these people to come back. But what are you targeting them with? Well, it's not deals and offers and discounts. You're targeting them with your brand impressions, customer testimonials and things like that. You're targeting them with those great positive stories that are out in the marketplace, because that's what they want to see more of. So you give them more of that, right? So that's our digital dominance method. It pulls it all together with visibility and reach and brand and all of that kind of stuff. So if any of that makes sense, if anybody is interested, if you're thinking, you know what, I have no clue where I stand on any of this stuff, we offer a few spots a month. It's a couple a week at best, depending on my schedule, where we'll actually do a comprehensive marketing audit for free. It's over $1,000 worth of value, and we mean that. Our entire team goes deep in comparing you to your competitors, checking out all of your web properties, checking out all of the marketing that you're doing. So you hop on a quick call with Rima, answer a few questions, get some background. The team goes to work, does a full research, brings it to me. you and I meet and we go through it for half an hour or so. Sometimes the conversation goes on to an hour because we're talking about a step-by-step guide, what you need to do differently than what you're doing now, what's working, what pieces you're missing, and how to put that in place, right? So that is an absolutely complimentary service that we provide to the marketplace because, of course, some people say, hey, you know what? This is great. Is there any of those pieces you can help with? Yeah, we've got a digital agency that can do this and this and this, but we also suggest you cover this and this and this with your team, your staff, your whatever. There's things that you need to do to run your own business. We can talk about that synergy between those things. Or if you've already got people that are doing the work for you, you'll now know if they're doing it right or not. You'll now know what to tell them to do as well. So so we cover all the core issues during these conversations. So anyways, if you're interested in that, there's an opportunity to connect with us. You just go to carpetcleanermarketingmasters.com/schedule. Fill out a quick little form there. Rima will reach right out to you and try and get you some information on you so the team can do the research and help you book a time in to get on my calendar as well. So hopefully that you found this information valuable to some degree. And yeah. In the meantime, thanks so much for attending. Really, really appreciate it. There will be a replay for, if you want to go back and kind of pause and go through the information in more detail. If you've got any questions at all, reach back out to us at any time. Follow us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, we're everywhere. So yeah, just jump into our worlds, reach out, say hi. If you want a copy of the book, you can get it on Amazon. You can reach out to Rima. There's certain copies that we give away for free, so as well. So just hit us up if that's of interest to you. And again, thanks so much for attending. Really, really appreciate it. Looking forward to the next time on the next topic. And in the meantime, take care and happy marketing.